Namaste everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Shweta Chatta, and I'm back again with a new video on air stream mechanism. As you know that various languages are spoken all over the world, and air forms the basis of speech production in all these languages. That means when you inhale and when you exhale, the air goes in and goes out, and then you are able to produce speech sounds. Right now, when I'm speaking, I'm continuously exhaling the air out of my mouth, and only then you are able to listen to certain sounds that can be turned into various speech sounds. So, on the basis of air stream of mechanism, we can divide it into three types. First is pulmonic mechanism, second is glottalic mechanism, and the third is velaric mechanism. And they can further subdivide it into two types. First is egressive mechanism, and second is ingressive mechanism. Egressive mechanism means when you are breathing the air out and producing certain sounds, that process is called egressive mechanism. And ingressive mechanism is just opposite of egressive mechanism. Just as in egressive you exhale the air, in the same way in ingressive mechanism you are inhaling the air and then you are able to produce certain sounds. So most of the languages all over the world are based on egressive mechanism, but of course there are few languages that are based on ingressive mechanism. So now I turn towards the first type of airstream mechanism, that is pulmonic mechanism. Pulmonic, as its name suggests, it is directly related to pulmonary. Pulmonary means your lungs. And you know that the air first enters your lungs when you inhale, and when you exhale, it goes out of your lungs through your mouth. So that's why your lungs plays a major role in creating speech sounds. And English is one of such languages in which most of the speech sounds are based on egressive mechanism, and specifically pulmonic egressive mechanism. But of course, even in English language too, there are certain sounds that are based on ingressive process. Likewise, when you are full of surprise or you are out of breath, you do like this. Oh no! Oh no! When you create such sounds, just focus on it. You are breathing the air in instead of breathing the air out. And that's why you are able to create certain sounds. But that's particularly limited to certain specific sounds. The next comes glottalic mechanism. As its name suggests, it is related to your glottis. Glottis, you know that glottis is the major part of your phonation system, and the space between your vocal folds is known as glottis. So the air, first when you breathe in, the air enters your mouth and then it goes into your glottis and then it reaches into your lungs. And again, when you exhale the air, then it comes out of your lungs, again enters your glottis, and then it goes out of your mouth or through your nose. So glottis is one of the major organ of the phonation system. So in glottalic mechanism, what happens that you take two closures. Closer means you take a closer in your glottis, like you breathe in and put a closer inside your glottis. Right? And next, The second closer is in your oral cavity with the help of your tongue. And after that, when all of a sudden you release that oral closer, then with a pressure, the air goes out of your mouth. Like, look at me, I'm first putting a closer inside my glottis and then in my mouth. One of the major characteristic of this glottalic mechanism is that your glottis moves upward. In egressive, glottalic egressive mechanism I'm talking about, your glottis moves upward and then it goes down. There is a term ejectives that is used for those specific sounds that are created out of glottalic egressive mechanism. In ejectives, you see that they are voiceless because your glottis is closed. You do not let the air enter your glottis. That is why all ejectives are voiceless. Then the opposite of this glottalic egressive mechanism is glottalic ingressive mechanism. In ingressive mechanism, what happens that instead of breathing the air out, you breathe the air in. Like, so what happens when you do this ingressive glottalic mechanism, that some of the air enters your glottis when you are breathing the air in. That is why some of the glottalic ingressive mechanism sounds may be voiced. And the specific term that is used for glottalic ingressive mechanism is implosives. Then the third one and the last one mechanism is V-lyric mechanism. This V-lyric word is made up of velum that has another name, soft palate. So your soft palate or velum plays the main role in creating this V-lyric mechanism sounds. And one another main point in this V-lyric mechanism is that this is all sounds that are ingressive sounds. Like this. Like this. What happens that a few times you may have seen that some animal wandering on the road and you try to shoo that away, then you create these kinds of sound like then another sound is like so these kinds of sound are kept in the category of V-lyric mechanism. And a particular term that is used for V-lyric mechanism is clicks. In most of the African languages, you may be able to listen to these kinds of sounds, but they are not very normal in English language. And the sounds that I created right now, like and those are called non-linguistic sounds. You may be able to hear only these kinds of sounds in English language. So this is all about the airstream mechanism. Thank you everyone for listening to me.